We use ordinary objects every single day without thinking twice. But what if I told you that many of these simple things hide dark and disturbing origins? From tools once called instruments of the devil to toys linked with death rituals, these are 10 everyday things with creepy origins. Part 2. Number 1. Forks. Today, forks are just another piece of cutlery on our dinner tables. But when they were first introduced to Europe in the 11th century, they were considered highly suspicious. The church even referred to them as the devil's tool, claiming it was sinful to eat with artificial implements instead of using the hands God gave us. For centuries, forks were seen as arrogant and unholy. Ironically, what was once thought of as satanic has now become one of the most normal things in our kitchens. Number 2. Handshakes. A handshake feels like the most harmless greeting, but its roots come from a much darker place. In ancient times, extending your hand wasn't just polite, it was proof you weren't holding a weapon. By grasping each other's arms, both parties ensured that no knives, daggers, or hidden blades were being concealed. What we see today as a symbol of trust actually began as a survival tactic in a world full of suspicion and violence. Number 3. Balloons. Colorful balloons are usually linked to parties and childhood fun, but their origins are surprisingly gross. Before rubber and latex were invented, early balloons were made from the dried bladders of animals, often pigs. These were cleaned, inflated, and tied off for use in games and celebrations. The image of a child's toy suddenly feels a lot less innocent when you realize it once came straight from the insides of livestock. Number 4. Candles. Candles bring cozy light into our homes, but their past is far less comforting. Before modern wax, candles were made from tallow, which is rendered animal fat. They burned with a foul, greasy odor that filled the air. Beyond that, candles were also deeply tied to rituals of death. They were often lit to guide souls into the afterlife, and in some cultures, a candle going out unexpectedly meant that a death was imminent. Something that feels so peaceful today was once a grim omen. Number 5. Clocks. We think of clocks as neutral tools for keeping time, but in many cultures, they've been linked to death itself. In Victorian times, if someone in a household died, all the clocks would be stopped at the exact time of death to trap the spirit and prevent it from wandering. In parts of Asia, gifting a clock is still considered bad luck because the phrase for giving a clock sounds eerily close to the phrase for attending a funeral. That steady ticking suddenly feels much more ominous. Number 6. Keys. Keys unlock doors, but their symbolism goes far deeper. In the past, keys were often seen as mystical objects with the power to open gateways, not just to homes, but to other realms. Ancient rituals sometimes involved using keys in divination, or even summoning spirits. In Japan, keys were buried with the dead to help them unlock the afterlife. Something as ordinary as the keys in your pocket once carried the weight of supernatural power. Number 7. Dolls. While dolls are beloved toys today, their origins are anything but playful. In ancient cultures, dolls weren't made for children. They were spiritual objects. They were often created to house spirits of the dead or used in rituals to communicate with otherworldly forces. In some cases, dolls were placed in tombs as companions for the deceased. The fact that they're now marketed as innocent toys only makes their eerie past even creepier. Number 8. Perfume. Perfume is seen as a luxury item meant to make us smell pleasant, but in history, it served a much darker purpose. During the Black Plague in Europe, strong perfumes and masks filled with scented herbs were used not for beauty, but to cover the stench of disease and death in the streets. Even earlier, perfumes were often tied to funerary rituals, masking the odor of decaying bodies. The sweet fragrance we enjoy today is rooted in the effort to hide the smell of mortality. Number 9. Chairs. It's hard to imagine a chair being creepy, but in the Middle Ages, certain chairs weren't designed for comfort at all. They were designed for punishment. Chairs of penance forced accused criminals or sinners to sit in public while being mocked and humiliated. Even worse, torture chairs covered in spikes were used to inflict pain while keeping victims immobile. That piece of furniture we rest on every day once doubled as an instrument of torment. Number 10. Scissors. Scissors are such a normal household tool that it's easy to forget how unsettling their history is. In folklore, open scissors were believed to attract evil spirits or even death. Some cultures thought they could cut the spiritual thread of life, and leaving them open was a way of inviting bad luck. Even today, superstitions around scissors remain, like never passing them directly to someone or never using them at night. Something designed to cut paper and fabric once carried the weight of mortal fear. So, the next time you pick up your keys, glance at a clock, or light a candle, remember, these ordinary objects weren't always so harmless. Their origins reveal just how much fear, ritual, and superstition shaped the world around us. Which of these creepy origins surprised you the most?